Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Royal Sussex Live. Welcome, one and all. Thank you so much for being here. Let's see. Oh, Joyce Anderson, thank you so much for being here first. Okay. Hello to Fancy Fancy. Elvis Minot. I think I'm saying that right. Mackenzie. Belton LaShawn. Vanessa Jones. Let's see. Is it Laurie Cooper? Cooper? Yeah. And Norma Campbell. Claire Thomas. Hello, hello, and hello. Church Nellie. All right. Yeah, Church Nellie. I'm glad you're here. AKA Bathtub Gin. Welcome. Hi, Mary H. All right. Well, let's get on with it because I got a few things to cover. I hope everything is in order. You know, sometimes my slides kind of get out of place and I lose track of where I'm supposed to be. So, well, I'm just going to hope for the best and just put it on out there. Just put it out there. That's what they say. Just put it out there. Okay. Moonshine. I stand corrected. All right. Let's see here. Don't forget, you guys, that August the 7th is the world premiere of Cookie Queens. Cookie Queens coming to a theater near you. So I think Spider-Man has already started this week, right? So that means Cookie Queens should be, as a matter of fact, let me see. Spider-Man, when does it start? Oh, the 31st. So it's already in the theaters. Well, fortunately, Cookie Queens does not have to go head to head with Spider-Man. That's a relief. Yeah, it released on the 31st, which was yesterday. So, we should be okay. We should be okay. I don't think anything big is coming out next week except for Cookie Queens. Spider-Man, brand new day. Okay. Let's see. Can't wait for Meghan to get the cover of Vogue. Yes, Vogue, especially Vogue US. That would be huge. Huge. So yes, thank you for that. And thank you for the super sticker. Thank you, Kavan Slims. Hello to Joan Garcia. Compton Cali Gal is here. Welcome. Oh, by the way, I do have sound for that image there. So let me go ahead and cue that up for you. I put a little sound with that. Okay.
It's a documentary on the Girl Scouts and basically their cookie selling season. Executive produced by Meghan Markle and Prince Harry. And all I have to say is bravo. Something about watching confident little girls go after their dreams will always do something for me. Camera crews followed around the families on their cookie selling journey. One of the stories that impacted me greatly, because I'm from San Diego, this little girl's from San Diego, and she is diabetic. And there's no sugar-free Girl Scout cookie. And at the end of the documentary, she's making her own sugar-free Girl Scout cookie. She had met this man along the way who was also diabetic, and she went back to his house and showed him the diabetic cookies. It was just like, we need diabetic cookies. What are we doing? I'm about to have an uproar over it. That's just one story. All of the girl stories are good. I could go on and on and on about each girl. That's how well done this documentary is. Comes out on August 7th. I would absolutely go see it. This is definitely a palate cleanser in terms of we see so many negative documentaries and movies and TV shows that this is just not one of those. This is positive, and you see real and raw conversations these kids are having with their parents. You see a beautiful family dynamic with sisters and friends, and I can't say enough good things about this documentary. So everybody that worked on it, bravo. Such a well-made documentary.
All right. I love that. What a wonderful review. That is Miss ooh. Well, anyway, she's on uh TikTok, right? Oh, wait a minute. That's not her. Is that her account? Oh. Yeah, well, anyway, thank you, mysterious person. I'm not sure if that's her TikTok. I don't want to misquote. Oh, yeah, that is her TikTok. All right, give me a second. I want to make sure I give her credit for her work because that's how we do it here. And I do believe this is all uppercase. So MRIOX. All right. And there it is. I just put the uh, information on the screen there so you can see the proper spelling. I don't know what that says, biomatrix or something like that. I don't know how to pronounce that. So that's why I'm just putting it up there for you. But anyway, thank you. That was a wonderful review. And I really, really do appreciate that. Hey, Legs. Legs says Cookie Queens is at the theater close to me on the 6th. I am going to see it the day it opens. Very cool. Very, very cool. You know what I have not seen in a long time? I remember what was the movie was that? There's been a few movies where they premiere and they go like 24 hours. What was the last time you seen a movie like that? I don't know if it was The Matrix. Was it Star Wars? I don't remember. I went to some movie and I know that it was open. The theater was open like 24 hours that first weekend. Huh. Cannot remember. But anyway, I love those like all night movies like that. That is pretty cool. So, yes, our Duchess is causing quite a stir with her incredible youthful appearance. It's, in some of these photos, you can't tell which are the kids and which is our Duchess. Oh, by the way, let me throw this in there to the person who bought that beautiful La Crusade pan. It is my go-to pan. I use it almost every other day now. The way that it distributes the heat. Now, I would love for you to believe that I have just fallen on hard times, but no, that's my stove. I've never had any of those fancy stainless steel stoves. That's the only stove I've ever had is the porcelain white. So, you can tell a person's socioeconomic level by looking at their stove, and that is the basic, I think it's a GE. That is the very basic GE stove with the imitation granite countertop formica next to it. So if there's anybody who thinks I'm living above my means, no, I'm just right about at my own level. Ah, Yes, notice the difference between my cooktop and what the Duchess of Sussex has with the Travertine marble and um or is that limestone? Oh, okay. She's got the limestone. She has that big, oh my god, that stove is huge. Anyway, we are worlds apart. and and don't worry, Megan. I just bought another jar of your wonderful fruit preserve. So if it's up to me, I'm going to make sure you never have to have one of those plain white stoves like I got. Oh yes, I love having a gas stove. I do. I love having a gas stove. But well, anyway, I love my La Crusade. It is my go-to. And yes, Deborah Anderson says it is very heavy. You have no idea. I mean, it's like that. What was that movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger? Was it Pumping Iron? That's what it's like to cook with those pans. It's like pumping iron. But yeah, it cooks beautifully though. The heat distribution is amazing. Okay, but what a blessing! I was just like, I went to my mailbox one day, and someone had actually sent me a La Crusade. And I'm going to tell you, I was very emotional when I saw that pan. Let's see. Hi, Baron. The months go by fast, especially with activities of Harry and Meghan. By the way, my stove is so old, they don't make the parts for them anymore. Thank you for 55 months membership. And of course, thank you for being here. But yeah, that stove is actually it's I'm gonna say it's probably about I think it's from like 2012. I think it's from 2012. I looked at the information and I do believe it's from like 2012. But yeah, it cooks beautifully though. I have to say that it cooks beautifully. But okay, thank you for your comment. Okay, this dodo bird, Mark Dolan, has caused quite a controversy. Now, and a lot of the people in the Sussex squad is upset, and rightfully so. And I do feel a bit vindicated because there were some people who thought, oh, well, you know, if you talk about it, it's just gonna, oh, no, this creep deserves to be called out. And I actually went back and watched it. You know, I'm just like, not that it matters, whatever context is unimportant because it was still a disgusting thing to say. And for those of you who have not heard it, I'm sorry. I mean, I'm gonna play it again just in case someone missed it, but it is very upsetting, and it was a very disgusting, crude thing to say, especially about someone's children.
Who's your parents? So for the hundreds of hours that I've been broadcasting, you will not find any critique of these little creatures. But here are my thoughts about this. You don't choose your parents. So for the hundreds of hours that I've been broadcasting, you will not find any critique of these little creatures.
The very dramatic pause right there lets you know that it was not a slip of the tongue, that it was planned. It was planned that way. He meant to say exactly what he said. And it was a disgusting thing to say. A terrible, terrible, disgusting thing to say. Now, lucky for him, it's the weekend and things may somewhat cool down by Monday. So if you're going to do something like that, probably best to do it um like on a Thursday or Friday afternoon. I know, C-Mac. I know. And I want you to have the opportunity to do that. Um and do you know, just by chance, one of the last people, if not the last interview that Ann Whitcomb had was with him. I do believe she spoke to him the day before, and whatever she was supposed to do the next afternoon, they could not get in touch with her. Isn't that interesting? I'm just saying, it's interesting. Ann Whitcomb, by the way, that is that mean old lady who unfortunately met a very violent end recently. She lost her life because someone who seemed a bit mentally fragile, to put it politely, um, you know, went to her house. Very unfortunate. And yeah, she's the one who used to sit on the Jeremy Vine show, among others. And she actually would keep notes. Like right there, she's actually reading notes so that whatever it is she wants to cover, she makes sure that she is very well prepared and well read on the subject so that she can make as strong an impact as possible. She's a Tory conservative. She was in public office at one time, and because of her very conservative views, they began to refer to her as a national treasure. The thing is, it's only a certain demographic that treasured her, but most people could not stand her. And there's actually someone who went on, what is this, Sky, Blue Sky, and said some pretty interesting things about her. I hope she doesn't lose her job, but she was, you know, I can understand why some people found her appealing because of her very cantankerous personality. You know, it has its merits. You kind of like someone who doesn't take any scuff off of anyone, but it has real life impacts when you're so outspoken. And some of the things that she said about the Sussexes literally made my blood boil. But still, I would not wish anything like that on. Okay, so now I'm going to go to this. So as I was saying, when things go too far, you need to call these people out. So let me get back to Mark Dolan. Um, and some things just go well beyond criticism. It gets very personal. So if you remember, there was that article. What was it in the Hollywood Reporter? And then I think maybe Variety. Well, anyway, they had that article where they referred to Meghan as the dictator in heels. And at the time, there was some people who couldn't understand why that bothered me so much. But then it wasn't more than a day before the Sussexes PR began to push back. So it says here the USA, or no, I'm sorry, Us Magazine, it says, truth about Meghan. Her staff breaks their silence after Meghan is branded a dictator who terrifies employees and has reduced grown men to tears. Her staff tells Us Magazine what she's really like. Okay. The staff and Meghan are rarely in the same place. Meghan works from home in Montecito. And if you know anything about the traffic in LA, Meghan is not going to their office in Hollywood 5 days a week. I doubt if she goes any day of the week. They do things remotely. So, how do you have this vision of Meghan running around in heels, barking orders at everyone, reducing grown men to tears? That article that started the whole thing was a Frankenstein. It was put together from pieces here and pieces there. Pretty much anyone who's ever said something or wrote something critical, they used years of negative coverage as the source. So there was nothing new in the article, but they made it seem as though it was the staff in Hollywood that was being very upset by her behavior when nothing could have been further from the truth. They were pretty much referencing the Kensington Palace days. They're always referencing the Kensington Palace days. And back in those days, it wasn't Meghan that was the bully. It was William who was the bully. It was William that had people in tears, making it very difficult for the Sussexes to get any work done. Literally pitting one side against the other. But there can only be one winner because William is going to be king. It was a very difficult work environment. And so, of course, afraid that the Sussexes were going to tell Oprah how they were bullied out of the country, 2 days before the Oprah Winfrey interview, the palace says Meghan is being investigated as a bully. And ever since then, there has been one article after the other, one book after the other, one reporter after the other who has spun the same lies over and over again. But not just to hurt Meghan, but to uplift the very mediocre Kate Middleton. As I love to say, it's the choice between Coke and Pepsi. And that is why that is still a thing. That is still the palace, Kensington Palace mostly. That is still Kensington Palace pushing the same agenda. And they do that anytime they want a big Kate up. Anytime that Kate has some type of rollout where they want to bring some kind of positive publicity for her, they have to come up with some story about what Meghan has done this time and who's afraid of her. And it just goes on and on. As you can see, the New York Post, a Rupert Murdoch publication, Meghan Markle is a dictator who terrifies staff, has reduced grown men to tears, bombshell Hollywood report. Oh, yeah, it is Hollywood Reporter. Expose claims. Again, it is several pieces of stories stitched together. And most of what they reported was from the Kensington Palace days. Or in other words, at the time, let me see, what year was that? Was it 2024? At the time, that was what, 6 years ago, 4 years ago? Too long ago that it shouldn't have even been brought up. But they will do that. They will recycle and recycle anytime there's a slow news day. Let's see. Come on, Slim says, why have they never released the findings of the bullying investigations? Very good point. Let's go to the most obvious thing. Meghan's lawyers would love to cross-examine anyone. They just need names. They want names of people who claim they have been bullied. And once that was brought up, what happened? Well, those same so called people said, do not, under any circumstance, involve me with your nonsense. They had nothing to do with it. They don't want to be bothered. They have nothing to say. Even with the protection of the weight of monarchy, they'd rather not bother. These are people who would have a future guaranteed. And still, they decided that it wasn't worth it. And why is that? Because it would have been a lie. They would have had to lie. They would have had to lie. And so for that reason, they chose to remove themselves from the whole thing and just go on with their lives, which was the wise thing to do. But thank you so much for your comment. Okay. How can Harry moan about privacy when Meghan posts an extraordinary amount of pictures from their secret family holiday? Rebecca English bristles. She's bristling, you guys, at the Sussex's hypocrisy, including exploitive images appearing to show Archie visiting Diana's grave. Now, you know what? This is a full frontal attack from Rebecca English. She's usually a little more cautious. She's usually less obvious. But it just goes to show you how upset they are with those images that Meghan posted. But why would they be upset? Because all of these so-called spontaneous images of the Wells family with their children, where they are followed around by a camera crew, where they are shadowed by professional photographers, all of those images just do not capture the public's fascination. And so for that reason, they are angry. They are livid that Meghan could show the backs of their children, just a handful of photos, and get more publicity, more attention, more praise than all of these so-called spontaneous images of the Welleses. And because Rebecca English is just an extension of the palace's PR, she has decided to go to war for the honor of Will and Kate and their family. That's what she's doing here. Usually she's just not so obvious, but this time it's a full-on assault. But they're not alone. Look at the what is it, ITV? That one with Chris Ship with a P, not a T. You know, that little weekend royal thing they do. Well, that is their thumbnail right there. Did they need to do this? Are Harry and Meghan invading their own privacy? This is a talking point directly from the royal rota. They have all been instructed to hit the airways, to write columns, to go to your Substack in your social media and question the hypocrisy of the Sussexes invading their own privacy. I mean, they say that every now and again, but this is way over the top this time. They have never leaned into it so much, or at least not recently, but now they are. That's like an old talking point from, what was it, 2020, 2021? And now it's pretty much all they have. That's all they have is, oh, they're invading their own privacy. Why are they invading their own privacy? I thought they wanted to be left alone, even though there is no record of the Sussexes saying that we are just going to go and disappear and not make money to live on, which is really what they want. That is what the tabloids, that is what Kensington Palace, that is what every hater wants, is for them to hide behind the walls of their Montecito estate and just stay there until they run out of money. That is what they really want. There's no way that was ever going to happen. I don't know if they noticed this, but Harry married an established actress, a woman who had been on a television show for 7 years. That's not someone who's likely to go away in the dark of night, never to be seen or heard from again. Harry, one of the most famous people on the planet. I've actually seen a survey where it says to rate the most famous person. And Harry was at the top. Not Charles, not William, certainly not Kate. Harry was at the top. There are more people on the planet, according to that poll, that recognize Prince Harry than any other living human being on the face of the earth. He was voted the most famous. So in that moment, in that poll, not so long ago, Harry was number one. So what are the chances that he's just going to go quietly into the night, avoiding his work, including Invictus, public speaking, and of course, the various charities where he is the patron? Why would he do that? So that was never going to be a thing, ever. And yet, in 2026, August of 2026, Rebecca English is still playing that card. I thought they wanted their privacy. That is hypocrisy. Why are they invading their own privacy? It's just extraordinary. It's not that she believes that herself, but it's to create hostility. It is to stoke apathy amongst the populace, to keep people engaged with outrage. That is the only point of it. And then at the right moment, let's insert some images of Will and Kate, because they're doing it the right way. They're doing it the right way. Harry and Meghan are doing it the wrong way. Will and Kate are doing it the right way. That is always their message. Kavan Slim says UK media knows that all of the energy is with Harry, Meghan, and their kids. They know the milquetoast left behind cannot move that dial, and it kills them. Thank you very much for the super chat. Exactly. That is the whole point, is that it's not so much that they care what Harry and Meghan is doing. It bothers them what the other two left behind royals cannot do. And that is make people interested, to bring people over to their side. There is a core group of royalists that are easy pickings, but the vast population could give a damn. They don't care what those two are doing. It matters not to them, because they represent that old stodgy institution. There's nothing modern, there's nothing meaningful about them. If being royal means that you go to Wimbledon and you prance around with a trophy that you have not earned, you take the center stage for something you did not do, then yeah, I guess people are crazy about you. But aside from that, what have you done? Except for wait 10 years for someone to ask you to marry him when it was obvious that nobody else would take him on? You were still there. That is what you're famous for. That is what Kate Middleton is famous for, is for waiting 10 years. Aside from that, she's famous for her hair and for her coat dresses. And that's it. Nobody knows what else she does. They know it's something with children. They don't know what it is because she's never been able to articulate it. But she knows that, I mean, the public knows that she is doing something with kids that's very safe. Um, Doggone if anybody know what it is because she can't explain it. But that's it. They don't really know anything else about her. And believe me, Waity Katie is something that she lived with and is what's going to follow her to her future transition. But if she had to articulate exactly what it is she does, it would probably sound something like this.
Well, obviously it'd be, I would love to have met her, and she's obviously, she's an inspirational woman to look up to, obviously to this day, and, you know, going forward and things. You know, it is, you know, it's a wonderful family. The members who I've met have achieved a lot, and, you know, very inspirational. So, yeah, I do.
Ain't that something? The one thing that she knows more than her name is to say, I do. Even there, she kind of jumped the gun a bit, didn't she? You're supposed to wait until the wedding before you say, I do. But what does she do? She kind of blurts it out right there at the engagement interview. She couldn't even wait to the wedding.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do.
What? What is that? Come again?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Well, you have fulfilled your obligations. Next stop, Westminster Abbey, Queen of England. You have fulfilled your obligation. Well done, you. Well done. Woo! Well done. Nobody does it better. Makes me feel sad for the rest. Nobody does it
Yeah, I do.
quite the way I do. Well, you know what they say, a broken clock is right at least twice a day. Or should I say a broken clock is right at least twice a day? Yeah, that's what I said. Anyway, look at that. If you listen to Kate long enough, you'll confuse yourself. Anyway, um, let's see. Kevon Slim says, let me get back over here. Okay. Also, there is a difference between putting out an Instagram post and the media tracking your seat on a plane and who's traveling with you. Amen to that. Amen to that. Thank you for the super chat. Again, Cookie Queens is coming up, you guys. Cookie Queens is coming up. Get back over here. Now, this is Harry's cousin. Yeah, that's Harry's cousin. That is, let me see. Oh gosh, what is the name? Is it Victoria Spencer? Anyway, gets, wait. There it is. Beautiful model Kitty Spencer, Diana's niece, Earl Spencer's daughter, posts photos of herself and her lovely daughter on Instagram. Why is it only Meghan gets attacked by the press and crazy haters for not wanting to show her children's faces in photos? Now, that was from a squatty who calls themselves the Royal Whisper. And that is also a very good point. They go crazy. Oh, why won't she show the kid's face? Why won't she show the children? If you're going to put them on the social media, blah, 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 blah. Because she don't want to. She doesn't have to. You can either look at it or not. It's just that simple. Nobody is forcing you to follow Meghan's social media. But I guarantee you, everyone who calls themselves a royal reporter, they start their day on Meghan's Instagram. They go to lunch, they're on Meghan's Instagram. And before they go to bed at night, they're on Meghan's Instagram, wondering what, if anything, has the Queen, Meghan, the Queen, what has she posted? Do I have something to talk about tomorrow? No? Well, I guess I'll just go back to the derangers on social media. They'll think of something for me to talk about. They always do. But Kitty Spencer is not the only one. Take a look there. Who else doesn't show their kid's face? The answer, of course, is a lot of people. But there's Princess Eugenie, royal family member, posts photos of the backs of her kids' heads. No complaints from the UK media and haters. Go make another goal post for your BS. And of course, that is in reference to the fact that they are constantly moving the goalposts. Anytime it has something to do with Meghan and Harry, mostly Meghan, then the rules suddenly change. The goalpost relocates. It always does. So, what is the beef with the Sussex's children? People are proud to share images of their families, but they don't want their children to be exploited by the media, especially the tabloid media, especially the tabloid media that are okay with a person comparing your child to a chimpanzee. There was no mass call for Danny Baker to lose his job. He compares Archie to a chimpanzee, and he is a hero amongst the tabloid media. He said something that they wouldn't have said. He's a hero. There was no outcry. But if it was the other way around, every tabloid would be demanding. They'd have articles demanding that the Sussexes apologize or that the Sussexes talk to their supporters, that they reach out to their supporters, that they call them out. They would demand it. Now, where are we going here? Now, I shared this one. And again, I do apologize for the content, but we're making a point here. We're making a point, and it is a matter of what's happening. So I'm going to share that. That, of course, is Nala, the very beautiful fashion model, content creator, Instagrammer, and so on and so forth. Okay, let me cue that up.
Traction my social media got, the more people came to my page, the more people like kind of pieced things together that were so inaccurate to what was going on, to where I kind of felt like I had to take a step back and really evaluate what I show and how much I show.
Can you give an example that kind of forced you to be a little less open?
There was this incident of me posting my kids, and then there was this TikTok video where someone, I don't even know how they got it, but they got like a story that I posted on Instagram about my daughter like a year and a half prior to me even having TikTok. So I'm like, where did this video come from? It was an Instagram story, not even an in-feed post. And it had millions of views, and it was just her sitting on the couch, and she's so cute. But the comments, it had like 200,000 likes. It had like 8,000 comments, or like so many. And so many of the comments were like, I can't wait for her to be older, or her eyes are so pretty, or look at those lips. And then I'd go on the profiles and it was like old men, to where I realized I'm actually doing my kids a disservice by exposing them and making them vulnerable on the internet, to where I'm like, okay, kids are off limits.
Okay, now for someone who is not a public figure, it would be easier to just pull back and pretend like you don't even have kids. But the Sussexes are in a very unique position. And what makes it very unusual is that Archie and Lily, whether they have titles or they do not have titles, their grandfather is the King of England, right? Their great grandmother was the Queen of England. They themselves, through their bloodline, are royals. And again, whether or not they use their titles, it wouldn't make a difference. Because they are the children of Prince Harry, because they are the very cool, hip cousins in California, they will never, ever be away from the media glare. I don't think it's possible. I'm going to give you a good reason why I say it's impossible. Because John Kennedy, John F. Kennedy Jr., his father was the president of the United States, and he grew up very handsome and very photogenic, and they never, ever left him alone. And they are never going to not have some type of interest in what the Sussexes and their children are doing. So, in a way, this is going to prepare them for their inevitable future. And they are going to have to know how to handle themselves with the press. They're going to have to know how to find some kind of balance in their life. So the idea that they can just hide away is impossible. And the same goes for Beatrice and Eugenie's children. As much as it seems cruel, the media doesn't care. They are still going to pursue them. It is cruel, as a matter of fact, but they're going to pursue them. So there's no hiding them away. If you show absolutely nothing that is going to create a demand that is even worse than what it is now, it is only going to create a greater demand. That's my opinion. So there's no hiding. But somehow they're going to have to find some kind of balance. Now, Harry is well placed to do that because he's lived with the media glare. So he knows how these things work. So whatever you're thinking or feeling, as I always say, you got to trust the Sussexes and let them work out what's best for their family. Now, most of us, we all say the same thing. I don't care if I didn't see them until they come out of college. I'll tell you who does care, and that is the press. That is the press. They care. So there's going to have to be some level of introduction at some point. This is a very, very slow acclimation to what is going to be a very interesting future. This is the first time that you've had someone so close to the throne. In this case, three people, Harry and his children, they are very much in line to the throne. They will likely never, ever reign, but they're that close, and that makes them of interest. And it's going to stay that way for a long time until George or Charlotte or Louis, until they have children of their own, then they are still up there in that top 10. So they're going to be famous regardless. It doesn't matter what their last name is, it doesn't matter what their titles are. They are still going to be of great interest to the British tabloid media. So let them do their thing. Okay. Anyway, let me see. I'm going to take a look at some of your comments. They have to be safely shown. Yes. Yes. It needs to be very slow and deliberate. That's what I believe. It has to be very slow and deliberate. Yeah, and that's very true too. Rositas, they're going to be compared. There's going to always be that comparison. Thank you, Ingrid Sowers. Thank you very much for that. Yeah, they do. They treat Meghan like she's some kind of fugitive slave. Hey, Lydia Washington, thank you for joining us. uh yeah, Meghan was not impressed. Not impressed with all of that gaudy stuff they have it, not in the least bit. Anyway, Nala and Lucky Blue Smith, that's her husband. They are both fashion models and content creators, influencers, etc., etc. And as I said, was it yesterday or day before yesterday? Those are two of the most beautiful people in the world. And if they ever come over my house, I'm telling you, they better know how to run, because I am going to be looking at them like a couple of pork chops smothered in gravy. Aren't they pretty? They're very pretty. Anyway, but I'm just kidding, you guys. They're very nice people, and they love their families, and they're trying to do everything right. So pray for them, because their kids are those kids are their world, and we don't want anything to happen to anybody's children. Church Nelly, I'm just saying, you know how on the Three Stooges, how the Three Stooges be chasing people from one room to the next? You know how Benny Hill be chasing chasing them girls from one scene to the next? I'm just saying, that's what they get for being pretty. That's what they get for being pretty. They shouldn't be so pretty. Now, about the picture below, the Derangers, William and Kate are trolling Harry and Meghan. The reality, William and Kate are copying Harry and Meghan again, as always, and Derangers know that. They could have chosen to post any other picture, but they chose to post that one. Copycats. Anyway, it's great that the Derangers show that the originals, Prince Harry and Her Royal Highness Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, live rent free in their heads, while it's the same time admitting that we all already know that Prince Harry and Meghan also live rent free in their heads of the copycats, um, William and mediocre Middleton. So there you have it. You know what, Church Nelly? That's another couple that is too pretty for their own good. It's something about Nacho and what's her name? They are just they're a very gorgeous couple. And I'm sorry, they better know how to run if they ever come over my house. Uh Look, bring your bodyguard. I'm sorry, but the Wellses just don't have it. Yes, they do not have it. It's like Melba toast, kind of dry and flaky. But yeah, so anyway, let me stay here for a second. You could see this image that they posted. Now, I wonder if that is what they have, because I didn't go to their social media. I For obvious reasons, I don't usually see what comes up because I never look at their page, but let me go to Kensington. Yeah, that's what they posted 9 hours ago. Attending the Commonwealth Games today in Glasgow. That is what they posted. Yep. They're very in your face with it. Let's see. Joan Garcia says, do Will and Kate realize how stupid they look copying Harry and Meghan? Yes, and it's the only way to get people to look at them. That is the only way they're going to get attention. Just like if you want an article to have any element of being interesting, they have to find some kind of way to put Meghan in there. That's what makes it easy. Remember, I used to say Harry and Meghan, they're like cooking gourmet food. You always want to start off with like 2 tablespoons of olive oil and then the rest of the ingredients. Always a couple of tablespoons of olive oil. And that is what the Sussexes are to any article written about anyone else in that family. It is mandatory that you start off with a couple of tablespoons of Sussex, and then you build the entire article around it. Now, you have to go through some real mental gymnastics to make it make sense. And sometimes they don't bother. They just Harry and Meghan and then the article. Anyway, thank you very much, Joan Garcia. Leg says, all Wank does is colonize. She thought Meghan wanted her contacts. Please, Meghan doesn't imitates. She innovates. Aren't they embarrassed? Pathetic. Thank you for the super chat. And that is the very height of humor, is that Kate Middleton was avoiding Meghan because she thought Meghan was going to say, if you don't mind, could you please tell me who does your coat dresses? Could you please, who makes your coat dresses? I'm in desperate need of some Mary Poppins couture looking coat dress. I don't seem to have not a single one. So if you have the time, please, I need a coat dress ASAP. That is a conversation that is rarely ever had anywhere, let alone from someone like Meghan. But that's what Kate wants us to believe, is that Meghan was after her coat dress maker, someone who is out there dragging the entire British fashion industry to the ground, and she wants people to believe that that Meghan was after her contacts. That would be the day. If, as ever, as if. You know what I haven't done for a long time? Let me find that one. Where is it? There we go.
Meghan in a Valentino white. Compare, I hate to do this, but compare Meghan in a Valentino white, absolutely wowing the crowds, and dear Kate in that very staid 1940s Amelia Wickstead coat.
Oh, you were really winding me up now. Yeah.
Well, I knew that would upset you, Richard, because I know you're more of a Middleton kind of girl and you like the sort of twin set and pearls 50s look. But all I'm saying is, who's speaking to the future generations, the younger generations? It's Meghan.
You know, as much as I love Meghan, I have to tell you, I don't know how Meghan can put on just the most simple outfit, and then it is written about for an entire week. Harper's Bazaar, Women's Wear Daily, Vogue all over the world, and so on and so on and so on. I mean, I could understand if it was like a high fashion moment, but it's just Meghan mixing, as they say, high and low, a little couture, a little off the rack, and people just can't get enough of it. It's like when Sharon Stone wore that very expensive designer skirt all the way down to the floor, and she put on a turtleneck. I think it was from the Gap, and people just went on and on about it. But see, fashion is something that you buy. There's an old saying, you can buy fashion, but you cannot buy good taste. And that's why when Kate wears something that is supposed to be, like right here, look at this picture. This is just an ordinary, typical British family going to the what do you call it? To the Commonwealth game, right? Everybody in that crowd is dressed up like it's Easter morning because they're going to the Commonwealth game. I'm being sarcastic, by the way. It is a very buttoned down look for what should be a typical family outing. There's nothing middle class about that image. That is like some like middle management bureaucrat and his family, or a bureaucrat and her family, on their way to some public event. You don't want to be too buttoned down, but then again, you don't want to be too buttoned up. So she's not even wearing her wedges. It looks like she's wearing stilettos. Now, I know that they are representing the United Kingdom. This is a work day for them. But still, why are they dressed like that? Why are they dressed like that? And then they wonder why people gravitate toward Meghan's look, and they run from Kate. They literally run from her. They want nothing to do with that look. Now, remember how the derangers, oh, she always wears stuff that doesn't fit. She needs to iron this. She needs to do this and that, and so on and so forth. Oh my God. I mean, it gets worse every time you look at it. Remember that look? Remember that? Let me see. I think, is that a Chanel jacket? And she had the jeans rolled up at the bottom. And as you can see, she's still carrying that little extra baby weight. And it looks really good on her. She looks very full figured for Meghan, of course. Oh my goodness. Let me get out of here. I just noticed that Harry's got that weird shadow. Never mind. Harry needs to, I don't know, he's got to do something about that. I just noticed that weird shadow. Okay, let me get back over here. I'm embarrassed. All right. So Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, is a heat wave bombshell in the mini shorts. Prince Harry's wife, the Duchess of Sussex, returns from her European summer holiday to pick berries in the garden as she teased a new as ever product. You guys, just the simplest outfit, and making trends like crazy. How many people do you think are going to be talking about Kate wore this brilliant flared out white skirt and stilettos to the to the Commonwealth game? Who's going to talk about that? And of course, Meghan with her, high low elegant outfits, she becomes the talk of the town. Now, let me go back. Let me find that outfit for you, just so we're clear. There we go. There you go. It could not be simpler. I mean, just chic, elegant, very simple. And as much as I adore Meghan, even I don't really get what the fuss is. But it's not for me. It is not for me. I mean, yes, she looks beautiful. But a whole week of fashion coverage? The Duchess of Sussex has what is that? Acclimatized, say that 3 times fast. The Duchess of Sussex has acclimatized to the sunny California weather, filling her wardrobe with heat wave ready outfits for the temperature soars. This is, by the way, that is Hello Magazine. Summer fashion inspiration, therefore, is never hard to come by, as proven by Meghan's latest clip-on lifestyle brand As Ever, following her overseas trip with her family. Let's see, Meghan continued embracing the warm weather as she picked berries in the garden. The former Suits actress shows off her green-fingered abilities dressed in a low-key... Oh, you know what? I got the wrong outfit up here. I got to find the one where she's in the garden. Hold on a second. Gosh, what day was that? Okay, I think I got to go back a little bit further. Give me just a second here. Just want to make sure I got the right one. Okay. All right. So that's not right either. Let me try the 28th. Maybe it's from the 28th. Yes. Okay. Okay. There we go. So Do I have it here? Nope. I think we got to go to the 27th. Yeah, we got to go to the 27th. Pardon me for a second here. I'm sorry. I didn't realize I didn't have it up there. So let me try the 27th. Ah, there we go. There we go. Now, for some reason, this has captured everyone's imagination. Here she is, our gorgeous princess. New photo from Meghan via Instagram stories. So let me continue with that again. Okay. All right. She's in a low-key outfit with her hair pulled into a ponytail underneath a straw hat. A taste of late summer is almost here. Something sweet is arriving soon. Oh, Lord, I still don't have the right one. I'm looking for the one with the straw hat. Oh my gosh, never mind. Didn't I just have it up there? Anyway, y'all know which one I'm talking about. Well, this one. Yeah, that one. Okay, sorry. Meghan tucked the blue button-up shirt into a pair of high-waist white shorts with the wide leg silhouette and pale colored, offering a receipt from the heat. Okay. Reflecting the relaxed setting, Meghan's outfit was more casual than she previously has been seen in a formal outings, especially when she was still a working royal. Well, that goes without mentioning. Okay. Bermuda shorts have often served as the perfect compromise between breezy summer dressing, etc., etc. Okay, I'm done with that. But yeah, so Meghan goes out in the garden. She puts on her straw hat and everything, and they just cannot get enough of it. Oh, why didn't I think about this before? Hold on a second. Why didn't y'all say, Baron, just show the video? I'm looking all over creation for the right picture. I could have just shown the video and I would have been covered. Anyway, it doesn't matter, long as we got there, right? So let me see here. Carolita Simone, thank you very much for the super sticker. And thank you for being a member of Royal Sussex. All right. So are we done with that? I think we are. I think we're done with that. I guess we made the point. Anyway, chic, elegant Meghan always strikes the right note. And I still remember when Meghan went to that very first Commonwealth Day. Remember when she wore the white beret and that white coat? A very simple outfit. And it just, she looked brilliant. She looked absolutely brilliant in that very simple outfit. Always strikes the right note. Okay, let's get over here then. Now, let's see. Royal Family Live. Harry and Meghan won't be alone in making William's reign a misery. Now that is coming from who is that from? Emily Andrews, and y'all know how messy she is. Prince William and Kate Middleton's crisis talks after Harry and Meghan's triumph. As the dust settles after the Sussex circus leaves the UK, William and Kate hold serious conversations over reveals royal editor Emily Andrews. Now, you know what? I'm going to tell you why I believe that to be true. The reason why I believe that to be true is because of this attack from the tabloids. I thought they wanted their privacy. They're hypocrites. And of course, the really big one, how could they disrespect Princess Diana by taking her grandchildren to her grave, showing them walking through the grounds of Althorpe with flowers, not in front of that little temple thing they set up, not on the island itself where Diana is buried. No, just walking through the grounds of Althorpe was a huge offense. And that has been one of the main talking points of the week. Even Rebecca English has hitched her wagon to that one. The idea that the Sussexes have somehow disrespected Diana's grave, or, like it's so sacred, even though lots of visitors come to Althorpe every summer, and they are actually closer than the Sussexes were. But that's not the point. They have tried to blow it all out of proportion. And there's a lot of people who have spoken up saying that they don't understand what the fuss is about. So since that didn't work, now they're going to do the Sussexes are hypocrites for violating their own privacy, and whatever else that they added in there. But yeah, same old, same old. Always the same thing. And as for that, let me see, where is it here? I'm going to give you a little bit of what Emily Andrews had to say. There are countless estranged brothers and broken up families across the country, but when you are part of the royal family, any drama you have with a sibling or parents are amplified. Well, that's true. Okay, I want to get to the point here. I want to cut to the chase. Okay, a source told the Daily Mail William showed public disdain for wayward brother by playing polo with Catherine's support on the day the Sussexes met with King Charles and Queen Godzilla. The late Queen Elizabeth was ruthless when it comes to dealing with the Sussexes, and rightly so. She had a crown to safeguard, and the couple represented and continue to be a genuine threat. Now that right there is just a bunch of nonsense. I bet it hurts all the more as it is his brother who has struck the institution. He will, and his son will one day head. It is a very sad situation. I don't know if I care for this article. I do believe that they had some kind of discussion. I do believe that they planned with the tabloid media to try to find something that would stick to discredit the Sussexes. That I'm sure of. The other stuff, Emily Andrews is just talking out of both sides of her mouth. Now, by the way, You guys probably remember that image of Emily Andrews. See her up there on the upper right of this photo. Do you guys remember that when she was plotting against oh gosh, what is her name? Um, Angela 11. That's that Angela 11 thing she did. So the Sussex soldier says the crisis talks and the result of the crisis talks go with the Commonwealth Games and take all their children with you. All three of them. Let me see. Propaganda, KP propaganda. And in all the pictures I have seen against my will, the children look bored as hell. Well, yes, they did look kind of out of sorts. These tabloids are pissed at the thought of the amount of money they could have made off those photos if the royal family still had control of the Sussexes. Thank you for 51 months membership, Harolyn Baker. Thank you very much. Now, that is Emily Andrews. Oh, is she shady? She is so shady. Let me see if I can find that video. You know the one that we love, don't you? You know the one we love, right? Let me see if I can find that one. Oh my gosh, you know what? I don't I'm looking, but it's not the right label. Oh my goodness, let me see. If it's not that, oh, I'm so sorry. I love that one too. It was so funny. Oh man, I cannot find it. I cannot find it. Try one more time. Okay, that's a negative. I cannot find it. And I'm so sorry because that one was funny as HE double hockey stick. Mm, 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 mm. Oh man, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry to tease y'all like that. I cannot find it. They had upset Angela 11 so bad that day. Remember that? And she hung up on him. It looked like she slammed her computer closed or something. Let me try Vanessa. I know it was Vanessa. What's her name? No, that's not working either. Okay, you guys are not being helpful. I cannot remember the label. Of course, I could try Emily. No, that's not helping either. Okay, you guys, I'm sorry. Never mind. I cannot find it. Oh, well. Look at there. So it looks like it was all hands on deck today. It appears as though, or were they all there on the same day? I wonder. Maybe this one was yesterday. But as you can see, Sophie Wessex is there. Sophie Wessex has been looking a bit odd lately, and I'm really concerned about her. I hope she's okay. She has been looking kind of down in the mouth, kind of sad. I don't know. And then look at Afro Annie. Look at her counting to see how many black people there. See her? Her and her husband, they counting to see how many black people there. Look at her. There's one over there. Look. I think he's black. Ain't that the way it is though? Yeah, she wants to make sure that her people are represented. You know what I'm saying? It's like that. As a black person, sometimes when I go places, I'm always curious to see if there's other black people there. So, of course, that's what Princess Anne is doing. Little did she know there's a black lady right there behind her. She ain't see her. And a black man. You see there? She's with her people. She is with her people, and she didn't even notice them. Maybe she's surprised that they sitting in that section. You know what I'm saying? She's probably she's probably surprised that they're sitting in that section. That's what's going on. She didn't notice them because she didn't expect them to be sitting so close. Oh well. Look at her. Now that she's realized that there are other black people there, see how relieved she is? She's sitting there laughing. See, I told you. I told you some more of them was here. Look at it. I told you. I thought I saw some black people sitting right over there. I know black people when I see them. So, anyway, I'm glad for Afro Annie. I would hate for her to feel isolated when she goes to these events. Um I would hate for her to feel so isolated. I mean, we're a long way from Black History Month. Let me see if I can find a picture of Princess Anne with her real family. Y'all know she's adopted. Wait, there she is. If she's not black, then tell me this. Why is she at the barbecue? If she's not black, why is she at the barbecue? Why? Why is she at the barbecue? If Afro Annie ain't black, why is she at the barbecue? Can't answer that, can you? Y'all know it's the truth. She's always at the barbecue because she's a sister. Also, another way you can tell is because back in the day, she did that ad campaign for Newports. See there? She was all over Ebony and Jet magazine back in the day. Let me see. I hope I'm not outing her right now. That was not my intention, but I'm just trying to keep it real. Where is it at? Oh, and then of course, there was this one. There you go. See what I mean? Don't be putting my purse on the floor. Just one of the family. Just one of the family. She even got that butterfly collar, just like Lou Rawls. Right? See there? She got that Lou Rawls butterfly collar. She been wearing those since the 70s. Oh. Okay, my last evidence of Princess Anne's real ancestry. Let me see. Let me see. I got some evidence here somewhere. Um let me see. Afro Annie. Okay, here we go. When your fro deserves the royal treatment, use Royal Fro. It's the comb out, style, and setting spray. Now tell me that she ain't a sister. Y'all know she is. She got her Royal Fro. uh, but anyway, can you dig it? I can dig it. Now, let's see. It says Prince Louis makes surprise appearance alongside siblings George and Charlotte as Kate and William take the children to enjoy Commonwealth game. And as you can see there, it was a united front. They brought the whole family to try and bring the interest back over to Narnia instead of Montecito. That's how you can tell they're desperate. Prince William reportedly ensured Prince Harry and Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, were not offered accommodations in Windsor during their recent UK visit in a bid to avoid potentially explosive reunion between the estranged brothers, while King Charles is said to be taking steps to repair relations with the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. Fresh claims suggest the Prince of Wales was determined to keep his younger brother away from his family's home. Okay. I believe that this was a brief from Kensington Palace. I don't know how true it is, but I believe that whenever the Sussexes show up, William and his team, they get very frantic and they start leaking and briefing. It's not that there's any truth to it. The only thing that they want to do is to make sure that William's name is thrown about with all the rest of the coverage as an effort to make him appear to be strong and engaged and in charge. The truth is, William and his father are not really on speaking terms. They have been at war with one another for quite some time. There are many occasions where Charles has gone out solo when William, just like Charles was at his mother's side, William should be at his father's side, and he just does not show up. Charles can scarcely convince him to do things that are even more important than showing up for some of those ceremonies. Just think how many times that you have seen Charles with his mother on some of the big occasions and small. William does not show up for his father. And so, anytime that there is talk of the Sussexes reuniting with Charles and, Godzilla, even if that's not true, or whether it is true, but I don't think there's a lot of merit to that. I do believe that they are cordial, that they are talking, and that Charles wants to eliminate all of this bad publicity of being the deadbeat dad. I think that actually does bother him. But William is not in it at all. His name is not even mentioned. And so, in order to project power, he has to find some way to get people to talk about him. He's feeling a bit left out, but not enough to want to deal with his father. William is a weak man. If he was so strong, he would look his brother in the eye. However, he is a coward and has his minions do his bidding. Yeah, I do believe that they have had like somewhat of a crisis moment because William's name was not being used enough. So I do believe that there has been some level of a crisis, not so serious, but it's probably serious to William because he's supposed to be the number two, right? And the talk of Harry reconciling the relationship with his father is kind of pushing all of William's buttons. And he is just that petty. But you know what? There's our Harry. I was looking at these photos the other day. I came across those, and I'm like, he has come a long way. It also reminded me that it wasn't, what was it, 2024? When Harry came to New York that time. And William was also supposed to be in New York, but don't you love this photo? Don't you love this photo? I don't know who the other kid is, but I love this photo. Harry is just the boss. He is just the boss. Fearless he is. You gotta love that. Very different from his brother. I know. I know. I love this photo. And of course, those very handsome. Now, there is Rebecca English. Now, let me share this one with you. Do y'all remember when Harry went to New York in 2024? Royal expert makes shocking claim about Prince William, that is, Harry's reunion in New York. Prince Harry and William are currently not on speaking terms following the Duke's claim in his memoir, Spare. Okay? Remember, this is 2024, August the 30th, 2024. Royal expert Rebecca English has made shocking claims about Prince William and Harry's reunion in New York next month. Taking to X, her Twitter account, formerly Twitter, Rebecca claimed speculation regarding whether Prince William and Prince Harry will be in New York at the same time next month. The Prince of Wales isn't going to the Earthshot Prize event. And you all know why he didn't go. I'm going to show you in just a minute. Stay with me. She went on to claim that the future king had never planned to visit New York and she was informed by it in July. That is false. That is false. I was told back in July when the event was announced, the royal expert further added, for what it is worth, Prince William went last year, but not the year before. It really depends on his diary and commitments year to year. The fresh claim came amid reports that Prince William was due to host the summit while Harry will be in New York at the same time for a packed solo trip next month. When William heard that Harry was coming to New York, it was abandon ship. He wanted nothing to do with it. And the reason why he didn't want to have anything to do with it, I'll show you. Take a look at that. Travelist 5-year anniversary, protecting women and children in Lesotho. Also, Clinton Global Initiative, a call for action for African parks, celebrating Angola's leadership in landmine clearance and conservation. Of course, that's Halo Trust. And a spotlight on youth mental health. Harry had a packed schedule, and all eyes was on Harry. And William knew that. And that's why in the 11th hour, when it was announced that Harry was coming to New York, William was like, I'm not going. I'm not going to be embarrassed by my baby brother. And so just like when people were criticizing William for not going to see Kate in the hospital, what happened? Rebecca English began to write on her Twitter account that that she saw William on the street near the hospital because she just happened to be on her way to an appointment. I don't believe it. How about another one? Another one? Okay. William did not skip his godfather's memorial service because of anything to do with Thomas Kingston, right? If you go back and look at her Twitter, you will find time and time again when something is potentially problematic or embarrassing for William, she will start taking to her keyboard, typing all kind of stuff into her Twitter, posting it to run block for William. It was the same thing when Kate did not show up for, what was it, Wimbledon that year? No, it was for oh my gosh, what is that? The horse race. When she didn't show up for that. And she said that Kate has her good days and bad days. Nobody ever said this and that and so on and so forth. But she could not say that Kate was sick. And why did she not say that Kate was under the weather? Because then how could you explain that her mother was at the whatever horse race? How could you explain her not being at her daughter's side? You see what I'm saying? There is a pattern with Rebecca English quickly being dispatched to run and give cover to Kensington Palace. So many examples of that. Time and time again, she is there to try to set things straight so that people will not know what the truth is. She wants to hurry up and insert another storyline, another another narrative before people catch on. She don't even give you a chance to know the truth before she's already filling in the spaces with something that is totally made up. And that's what her job is. That is what her job is. And so when people found out that Harry was going, instead of William calling it off at the last minute, they quickly said that, well, he wasn't going anyway. As a matter of fact, blah, 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 blah. I don't believe it. I'm sorry. I don't believe it. I believe that William chickened out because he did not want to be embarrassed by Harry getting so much attention. Wait, she was told, she was briefed, KP briefed. Thank you, Legs. Exactly. Exactly. It always goes like that, doesn't it? It always starts off with I was told XYZ. So Harry shows up on Sunday, September the 22nd. And they had some kind of dinner that night. Forrest Whitaker was there and a bunch of other people were there. It was magic. That is, what is her name? Queen Tilda, whatever her name is. Latide. I don't know what her name is. But that is one of those queens from whatever, Belgium, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, Harry was all over the place. That was just the night before. And then he had the thing with African Parks, the Halo Trust, whatever that Concordia something you thing is. It was just a flawless time for Harry. Meghan stayed home. Harry went there. This is when he had the background with all of the phone screens for the Parents Network. And of course, this is where he really socked it to his brother. Now remember, they made a big fuss about how Chef Andreas was team Will and Kate. Remember that? Chef Andreas threw William a little bone one day. And then, of course, the tabloid was like, look at there. I thought he was supposed to be friends with the Sussexes, right? Chef Andreas has always been team Harry and Meghan. He tolerates William. He loves Harry and Meghan. Oh, yeah, she's from Belgium. Thank you. Thank you. I think she was a speech therapist. Okay. Thank you for that. Yeah. Oh, you guys, it was awesome. Also, he even had time to record something in advance of the annual Jimmy Fallon Nightmares Before Halloween, whatever show that is he did. He also recorded this. He had a very, very busy time in New York. And then after all that time in New York, all of those people that he met, all of those engagements. Oh, and by the way, let me see. Do I have a picture of it? He had the royal family from Lesotho. Remember, he had that. He was in that room with them. And anyway, they said that every place that Harry went when he was at this was all at the United Nations, by the way. Every place that he went, that all of a sudden people would get quiet. Prince Harry, right? And then, of course, they started getting their phones out so they could take his picture, so that they could record him. All of those things. I'm telling you, it was huge. That was in September of 2024. So that is why William stayed home, because he did not want to be embarrassed. He's never going to. Harry is going to upstage William's coronation. Meghan is going to upstage William's coronation. Just the same way that Meghan upstaged Charles and Godzilla's coronation. 70 years since the last coronation. And what did they talk about? Meghan, Harry, Meghan and Harry, Meghan, Meghan, Harry, and little Meghan. That was all they talked about. It was like, oh, yeah, listen to the trumpets. Oh, there's a king right there. But the real story was Harry and Meghan. Now, of course, there was no announcements during the, they were talking about them. But everything that was written seems to have mentioned that Harry was there, but he didn't go to the luncheon, and that Meghan didn't come. All the way up to the last minute, all they talked about was if Meghan was coming, and she didn't. So there you have it. I love that. I love that. Let's see. I'm going to see if I can find at least one thing from that trip. That was September 2024. Oh yeah, I love this one. Hold on a second.
I would like to start by extending my deepest gratitude to their majesties for their continued friendship. The Lesotho royal family, as well as Lesotho itself, has been a pillar of strength for me over the last 20 years. Welcoming me with open arms and such kindness, the beautiful mountain kingdom feels like a home away from home. That friendship has only grown stronger as we've worked together to tackle some of the most pressing challenges facing the Lesotho people and the wider world. It all began 2 decades ago, when my dear friend Prince Seeiso first gave me a tour of your special country. I was struck by the strength and courage of your people amidst the immense challenges they faced, and particularly the children. Because of that experience, the people I met and what I was.
Oh, this is when he entered the room. Look at that. Look at how the people are reacting.
Let us welcome Prince Harry into the room of people.
See what I mean? It gets very quiet. The excitement builds. This is why William stayed home.
Let us welcome Prince Harry into the room of people.
And then I love that they wasn't sure whether they were supposed to clap or not. It was just like they wanted to, but we don't usually do that. So we don't usually do that. So I guess, I don't know. Are we supposed to clap? That's why William stayed home. I'm telling you, he stayed home because he didn't want to be embarrassed.
Hello, everybody. Can I ask you to take your seats if you haven't already done so?
I believe it was Prince Harry's birthday, was it? Or they wished him happy birthday. I think that's what happened. So yeah, I came across the thing with Rebecca English, And I was just like, you know what? I want to talk about that because I love that for Harry and Meghan that they were making such a big fuss about him that day. So, okay, let me get back over here. But yeah, I was very proud of him. Very, very proud. You see there, Prince of Hearts. Now, after all of that time in New York, only just what, 2 or 3 days? Then it was off to the UK, off to the whale child. So when they said that Charles had offered Harry a room for September, that's because that's next month. Harry is going to the whale child next month. Now, I don't know if he's going to New York City again, but next month is whale child and also Scotty's Little Soldiers, probably. Um, but yeah, so that's what's on the calendar so far. So look forward to a very interesting fall because I believe it was this time of year when the Sussexes went to Colombia, right? Did they go in September? No, it was August, right? They were still what was okay, 2024. Wasn't that Nigeria, Colombia, and where else did they go? Did they have a countdown for Invictus in Canada, maybe? Whatever it was, I know that 2024 was a hell of a busy year for them. That's Harry arriving at the Well Child. And that's that little kid that gave him a hard time, kept throwing the toys and making him retrieve it. I can't remember that kid's name, but he was funny. And by the time he got through pulling Harry's beard and whacking him on the head or whatever else he did to him, then when they had their group shot, there he is right there on the right. When they had their group shot, he fell asleep. He had exhausted himself. Oh man, that was fun. So yeah, don't forget to subscribe, you guys. Please do not forget to subscribe. It is very, very important. He also frighteningly well connected, coolly name dropping the likes of Kevin Costner, a very good friend of mine, and Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex. I've been out with a lot of famous people before. The way people react to Meghan is otherworldly. Now that's Ted Sarandos. Also, you guys, I forgot to mention before the New York trip, Harry went to the 1803 when they have the what is it, like an award thing for the volunteers in Santa Barbara, the firefighters. He did that just before the trip to New York. So yeah, 2024 was outrageously busy for Harry and Meghan. Huge. And I still recall when Meghan said for that, remember the Variety interview when she said that there was a lot of things coming up in 2024 and she wished she could talk about it, but she can't. And just as sure as she said that, by January of 2024, I think that's when she went back to social media. Is that correct? I think she went back January 1st. She was back on Instagram. And 2024 was just huge for them. I could just relive that whole year and never get tired of it. It was huge. Let me see if I have that. Because that was December 2023, right? I believe Meghan went to the Variety. And of course, oh gosh, let me see. Do I have that? Maybe I got the date wrong. Maybe Yeah, I thought it was 20. No. You know what? Let me try this then. Was it in November? But I know it was for Variety. Ah, yes. Yes, yes, yes. There it is. It was the red carpet for Variety. Oh, here it goes. Here it goes.
Congratulations. We're so happy to have you here because you are one of our Power of Women honorees. You are one of our alumni. And we're so thrilled because this is a night that is about supporting women and the idea that it's important to do so, especially in the entertainment industry. Why has that been so important for you to have that support and to give that support back?
Oh gosh, I mean, this industry is just so special, and you see how many women use the platform that they have and just channel it for good. And I think as the more we support each other, it just amplifies the work, amplifies our community. I'm just thrilled to be back in it and to be able to sit in this room, be in such good company tonight, and also to focus so much on how it's the crossroads of entertainment meeting philanthropy. So really close to my heart. It's gonna be a fun night.
It's going to be a really good time because it's full of women whose art has inspired us all this year. But I will say, I'm sure you've probably noticed that a certain show, Suits, has become a phenomenon yet again on Netflix. 45 billion minutes have been watched.
Is that right?
45 billion as of this week. We just found out 24 minutes ago that is the number.
Who's counting?
But literally, who's counting? What do you think is behind this renewed love for the show? Why has it become such a phenomenon again?
I have no idea. It was great to work on. Such a great cast and crew. We had a really fun time. I was on it for 7 seasons, so quite a bit. But it's hard to find a show you can binge watch that many episodes of these days, so that could have something to do with it. But good shows are everlasting.
Well, that's what you're doing now. You have now come into Hollywood in a producerial capacity. What is inspiring you? And as you're kind of looking to make these new projects, what is the thing that is, driving the work that you're going to put out into the business?
Things that make people feel, I was going to say good, but it's more than that. Things that make people feel something, right? And feel a sense of community, but we have so many exciting things on this slate. I can't wait until we can announce them, but I'm just really proud of what we're creating. My husband is loving it too.
That was it right there. Let me just say that again.
I was going to say good, but it's more than that. Things that make people feel something, right? And feel a sense of community, but we have so many exciting things on this slate. I can't wait until we can announce them, but I'm just really proud of what we're creating. My husband is loving it too. It's really fun.
We're here anytime you want to make those announcements.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. We'll get in touch then. Yeah.
We're thrilled to have you here as one of our honorees, our alumni. So nice to see you.
It's great to be
Thank you so much.
Well, that was a monumental understatement. Oh, there was not just a few things to announce. There was a whole world of things. And the palace was very upset because Kate was gone for 172 days. Now, that was from, I think it was either November or December. I think it was December of 2023. And that was around the time that Kate was looking rather strange when she had like 2 wigs sewn one on top of the other. And it was also around the time of Endgame. So fall of 2023 was a terrible time for the Left Behind royals. And at that time, Harry and Meghan had all of that stuff planned and not a single leak, not one single leak. They had no idea that the Sussexes were going to Nigeria. They had no idea about Colombia, nothing. They knew nothing. They still don't know anything. And yet, you see those crackpots all the time trying to convince you that there is someone close to the Sussexes, someone on the inside, someone familiar with Harry and Meghan. They just said blah, blah, blah. They don't know anything. How do you plan a tour in Nigeria and Colombia? You're working with all these people in the US, in the government. And dare I say, in all likelihood, they had to let someone in the Home Office in the UK, they had to alert them that they were going. I mean, after all, they are still members of the family, and yet not a single leak. That is extraordinary. That is extraordinary. Just like when they went to Jordan, we didn't know about it until they wanted us to know. Now, got another Martin from Ministry of Hacks.
Morning, friends. Happy Friday. How the heck?
Oh, that's the wrong one.
How the heck you doing? We had the emotional support poll drop yesterday. You know, the one that tells everyone in the UK, and we're expected to believe this, that everyone in the UK thinks Harry and Meghan are terrible and that Charles, William, Kate and Camilla are absolutely amazing. Yeah, we know where you get your pollsters from, people. Get to the point, Martin. King Charles is shocked and unsettled over Meghan's photos of Diana's grave. It's all over media in various platforms and various titles. The problem with this story is Meghan never posted that photo. And it's ironic that Charles's chief of staff was sacked on the very day that Meghan posted her photos on her Instagram reel of her, Harry, and the children at Althorpe. That was the day that Charles realised that his chief of staff, his right-hand man, has basically been an absolutely manipulative pain in the bottom for the last 10 years. Anyway, there's no photo. Meghan knows what to do and knows what to do. She's intelligent and has a high EQ too. Sorry, struggling to get my words out today. She lives by her heart and she speaks from her heart. She's not going to do anything crass, and there's no photo anyway. So Charles, be as unsettled as you want when your fake poll shows that you are really popular with the public that don't actually want you to be here. My opinion's not important. Yours is. Comments are open. Tell the world what you think.
Thank you, Martin from Ministry of Hacks. Again, that is a made-up story about especially Charles being so upset. Do you really think that Charles stays up at night worrying about how Diana is remembered? No, because they're too busy trying to work with the press to try to make sure that Diana is forgotten. So, of course, there's nothing inside of Charles that is worried about how Diana's grave has been defiled or disrespected in any way. He doesn't care about that stuff. He doesn't even care about his mother like that. So Harry is supposed to go back in September. Don't eat the food, Harry. As a matter of fact, I would say just stay at the hotel, especially if Meghan's not going with you. Just stay at the hotel. Don't bother with any of that stuff. You know, guys, there is always the possibility that he won't be alone when he comes. I'm just saying, there's always a possibility. Maybe, maybe not. In all likelihood, he will be alone, but you never know. Maybe they worked out something. Maybe they did not work out anything. But moving in stealth is the next best thing, is to Walk softly and carry a big stick, right? That's what was that said, that President Truman or whoever. Walk softly and carry a big stick. Let's see. Oh yeah, so that was posted by Candace Holmes back in September of 2024. Now remember, in September of 2024, that was a very busy time for Harry. It included that trip to New York and everything. So I like to give you some context of exactly what was going on with everything when you look at some of these old postings like this. So it says here, royal peace gesture. Isn't it interesting that 2 years later, if I said, oh, there's a royal peace gesture, it doesn't seem like any time has gone by. It is still the constant struggle to get some kind of deal worked out with the institution. But anyway, royal peace gesture. They're just trying to save face after years of racist bullying toward Meghan and Harry. And then down there, she follows up with, please don't make me laugh. A belated birthday wish for from William and Kate is not a genuine olive branch. It's just a desperate attempt to salvage their toxic family image. The firm is rotten to the core and needs to be abolished, not redeemed. Okay. And then over here on the right, this is the up to date. It just seems like no time has gone by at all. Seamlessly, we have gone from September of 2024 to the end of July this year, now August. King Charles will offer Prince Harry a room at Buckingham Palace when he returns to the UK in the coming weeks. Same players, same plot, minus the wasp. Minus the wasp. Although I'm pretty sure his influence will be there just the same. Prince William banned Harry and Meghan from Windsor to avoid brutal showdown. See what I mean? Anytime William is not central to the story, he finds a way to get his name in there. Fresh claims suggest Prince William took decisive steps to ensure he avoided the awkward face-to-face. Harry does not want to see him. Harry is not interested. William will not be important until Charles is gone. And when that happens, well, then, of course, then we have no choice. But for now, he's not important. He's not central to the story. Even though he keeps trying to make it seem as though they're consulting him, they are not. Okay, so Prince William is jealous, angry, mentally unstable man-child who still can't get over the fact that his brother, Prince Harry, refuses to be his scapegoat. That is, his brother's leads a better life, free and married to a better woman, beautiful, accomplished, eloquent, and hardworking, a woman, Meghan, who brings out the best of his brother. We can't say the same about angry Willie, lazy wife Kate, Bob the Builder Middleton. Prince William will be the downfall of the monarchy. It will end with him. Let's see. The Sussex. Okay. Oh, yeah, that's another. No, is that the same person? Yeah, the Sussex soldier. That's also Sussex soldier. It is Harry and Meghan who want nothing to do with the copycats and jealous William and Kate. Harry and Meghan don't even mention the copycats. They don't pay attention to them at all. And William is angry about it, this too, crying for Harry's attention. Pay attention to me, Harry. If you don't, I'm going to do this and that until you pay attention to me. He wants attention, but Harry refuses to give it to him. So that's about sums it up, doesn't it? It is a constant cry for attention. William is angry. William is incandescent with rage. William. William was consulted before Charles met with Harry. William is the reason Harry didn't stay at Buckingham Palace. You guys, listen, I'm not a fan of Charles III, but it's one thing I'm going to just say here. He is more likely to listen to his courtiers than he would William. William has no currency with his father, none whatsoever, because if it was up to William, Charles would be in a care home somewhere. And y'all know I'm not wrong about that. William went around for about 2 or 3 years saying what he's going to do when he becomes king. His father is still alive, and he was speaking of him almost past tense. Do not think that that escaped Charles' notice or that that would ever be forgiven. Charles has waited 70 years to be king. He's not going to knuckle under for that doofus son of his. No, not at all. As long as he is of sound mind, whatever comes out of that family is his responsibility, not William's. William does not have a say so. I do not believe it. And finally, Brer Rabbit, what's his name? Tom Sykes, even admitted that William, after all that time when he was pushing this idea of William's in charge, William is the shadow king, he finally admitted that William was not ready to be king. He admitted that himself. That thank God that Charles is still there because William's not ready. Now, we didn't suffer through a lot of Tom Sykes nonsense before he himself finally admitted that William is temperamentally unable to be king. Now or ever, I'm going to say now or ever. But as for Tom Sykes, he just thinks that William needs more training. But it's hard to train with your father if you don't show up, and he does not show up. I don't know if it's because he's not welcome or if he just doesn't show up. I think it's the latter. He just doesn't show up. He's not interested. He is buying his time until his father is gone, and then he is going to try to impress everyone with how he was right about everything in the first place, and that is going to be his downfall because he's just not that smart. Duchess Meghan nails casual summer dressing. I guess that should have been up higher, but unfortunately I put that in the wrong place. But yeah, that was from Harper's Bazaar. Oh no, it's in the right place. Sorry about that. It's in the right place. Oh no, it's not. I should have had this up higher, but there you have it. And there it is, $368. And of course, $148 for the Newport shorts. The Newport shorts. And I am going to end with this, I think it is. So if you guys are still up and you need to go to bed, I say go for it because this is the very last thing. I may have shared this with you before, but I thought it interesting. I figured I'd share it again. If you look at some of those old Gothic cathedrals like this one, Ames Cathedral in France, you'll notice that all you see is just the bare stone. But back in the Middle Ages, the Gothic cathedrals, they look more like one of those blacklight posters. They were like blacklight posters, but not illuminated. You could only see it in the daytime. But what they have done here is they have taken that new spotlight technology where you can just frame everything and crop out the rest of the light. So if you were alive in the Middle Ages, that is what the entrance of the Gothic cathedral was. That's it right there. It was a kaleidoscope of colors. Nowadays, of course, everything is very bland, but before it was painted. They would paint those surfaces. Just like with the Romans, everybody thinks that in Rome, everything was just marble, white marble, Carrara marble here and there, limestone, bare concrete. No, all of those sculptures, all of those statues, they were painted, very realistic. It almost seems like the person was standing there. That's how detailed it was. And it was the same with the Gothic cathedrals. But I believe it was, oh gosh, not, was it Leonardo da Vinci? No, the other guy, Sistine Chapel guy. Anyway, I believe it was him who thought that the marble should be seen in its very white natural state. Not just him, but other artists too. But he was really into that because they wanted to identify more with the Greeks. So probably 1,000 years ago, they just stopped painting those statues. But when they magnify those statues, you can still see minute particles of pigment in the stone. So they could actually tell you what color it should have been. And if you have never seen one of those like before and after images of those like Roman statues and temples and such, it is very interesting because there's all kind of colors that you couldn't even imagine nowadays. So anyway, that's it. Thank you so much. Sorry we went so long, but I had a lot to cover seeing that I didn't work the night before. Well, I did work. I just didn't come on. So that's why I had so much material. But it has been a pleasure as per usual. Thank you all for your constant support, your continued support. Thank you for trusting me to do this work. This has not been a Mark Goodson or a Bill Totson production. No animals were maimed or injured throughout this Royal Sussex. And there was probably, no, I don't think there was any nudity or violence. Everything was very rated G, I think. It got kind of weird with a couple of parts, but mostly rated G. So, yeah, there you go. Thank you, and I will see y'all next time. Love you guys. Have a good night.